If your track sounds empty, maybe you need just one layer to fix it. It consists in 3 simple steps that everyone can do. That's the moment. You're ready to export, but it feels like your track is missing something. You finish it, you're happy with the arrangement, sound design, everything is ready. But even if it sounds good, it sounds empty at the same time, and that's frustrating. Now, no matter the type of music you're making, the risk is always the same. Your ears get tired after just 20 seconds, and that's because our brain loses interest pretty fast. And the worst part? This can happen even while you're making your tracks. Especially in electronic music with all those loops and repetitions, it's pretty easy to fall in this trap. So as I always say, for me the background structure is more important than the main elements. If there is no constant moving behind the scene, it's only a matter of time before the whole thing collapses. Now, by background structure I mean subtle morphing sounds that you don't consciously hear, but your brain definitely does. And here's the trick, it's like a mind hack playing with your brain. I call this element the backsource, and it's surprisingly simple. Stay with me to see it. Okay, we are here in Ableton. I'm gonna take as example a track that I started, I think, a couple of weeks ago. We're gonna listen to it really quickly, at least at the beginning, then we start with the process. So this is the drop. So I deleted on purpose a lot of elements to make a balance between a good tracks and, as we say, the tracks that is missing something. We don't have a lot of elements. I mean, yeah, it's 49 tracks, but the main core are the bass line, this kind of rolling pattern with a couple of layers. We have a noise that is making this carpet, some hi-hat, pretty basic stuff. We have a bunch of SFX, some loops. This is a recording with my modular. Let's say this is a normal situation, okay? Even if it sounds good for me, the beginning with the mix and all the other stuff, I feel that after 20 seconds I lose a lot of interest. And when we start with the technique that I was saying, I'm gonna select everything, gonna make a group and close the group, and I'm gonna make a new audio track with the audio from my mic. So what I'm gonna do basically is record a bunch of sounds, something like this stuff, pretty simple stuff. You can go outside, you can do it in your studio, whatever you want. I find the transient sounds are working really good for this. Okay, that was funny. What I'm gonna do is like replay all the sample that I record and pass it through distortion units, randomizing the parameters inside the distortion unit. Something really similar we made with Ruina in the modular series episode. But you can add as many effects as you want, like reverb, delay, comp filtering. But my advice is to remain simple, at least for this stage, because we're gonna put a lot of effects in the last process. So I'm gonna show you the way with the Ableton stock plugin. You can take a distortion unit. Raw is really good. We take, like, for example, there are a lot of Max for Live devices that are doing that. For example, Par Randomizer, Device Randomizer is another one. There are a lot of stuff. You select the device, in this case Raw, we confirm, and every time we press, we have like a completely random routing. We're gonna create a new audio track with the audio from, sorry, I have a lot of tracks, with the audio from this channel. We're gonna start recording and pressing randomize. Totally random. There are other plugins that I like. Lately I'm using Trash, the new version. I prefer the old one, but I like this one because you can randomize everything. So we're gonna hit record. Another really nice thing is using like glitches. There is a nice device that I use always, is from Bastan, and it's called Data Train. So it's the same concept. Here you have the randomization. This will completely destroy the sound, but it's what I want. I'm gonna press randomize. Okay, enough. What I have to do now is just simply cutting sweet spot, re-listening to it. Okay, this is good. You can do like this. This is good. You can do something like also reversing the stuff, stretching out, recutting here. I mean, you can play with the stuff. Once we finish to chop everything, you simply press Command J, and this will consolidate that clip. We're gonna do it with a couple of samples. This one. Okay, J, Command J. A little trick, when you have stuff like this, you want to delete the silence between each samples. You can simply like select everything, press here Tab to go in the other section, put everything in your audio track, and then you take it again and you go here. And now you have every sample like together. Nice trick. If you did everything correctly, we have folder that is consolidated. Here you have every sample that you made. We're gonna press with the right click and find in Finder. So we have it here, consolidate. My advice is to divide everything for types, delay the audio Ableton file. I'm pretty sure you can do it also in Windows, but with Mac, if you rename it, you can call it like source from the one. And then you have from source 1 till source 8. And once you have done that, you can do also directly here in Ableton. In your library, you can create like a new folder. Let's call it Backsource, and simply drag and drop into your Backsource folder. And then you have here. So to simplify everything, we're gonna use my folder, and everything is here. Basically what you have to do is like make what I did here, and in 1 month you will have like sounds of Soundsource. And then now we are ready for the last step. Now we can delete everything, or you can save whatever you want. And this is the funniest part. There are two ways to do that. One is with the drum rack, one is with the sampler. I find that with the sampler is pretty good because you have a lot of possibilities to shape the sounds. But we're gonna do it like to keep it simple with the drum rack. Take drum rack, go into your folder where you have all the sound source. You can select everything and you can drag and drop here. A lot of you probably already know this kind of trick. So now in the drum rack, the notes that I'm playing are gonna trigger different sound source. Making a new MIDI clip here. I'm gonna aim for the middle, something like this. So the problem now is that it's playing always the same sample, and we're gonna change it using a MIDI effect that is called random. We're gonna increase the chance to 100% bipolar, so it's not gonna generate only upper note or sub octave. It's gonna make like both basically. As you can hear now, every note is triggering a different sample. What we have to do now is put a lot of effects that we like. I'm gonna stay pretty simple because not everyone has a lot of plugins like third-party plugins. So I'm gonna do it with the Ableton stock plugins. Take a reverb, take delay, corpus, and let's say a grain delay at the beginning. So I'm gonna cut the stereo at the end with a EQ. Okay, we can close it. And now we start to add modulators. As you can see, I like modulation device, like a lot of LFOs, random stuff, whatever you want. And now you can play with everything. Map it to the dry wet. We can map the second LFO to the right part of the delay. Not so much and not so fast. You can do stuff like this, or to be really faster. You can select your devices that you made, select everything, make a group. You can rename it with, let's say, chain01. So I have a folder here, FX rack, that is my personal one. You can do a new folder, okay, and you're gonna put a chain inside. I have a lot of chain, like as you see, cinematic stretch, FM. You can combine also different like stuff like this. Yeah, these are third-party plugins. The effects that I put inside are changing like constantly. So there is no way that I have the same kind of spots every time. Make a new audio track. You can play also with parameters while you're recording. You can do as many processes as you want. As we said, it has to be something that is in the background. Not necessarily you have to hear it. We're gonna apply a slow LFO to this. I think that I like really a lot is working with the THX Spatial Creator. It allows you to position a lot of stuff inside your digital room. It emulates like a real ambience. I like to go in motion. And here, a funny thing to do is like taking an LFO and modulate the scalar. Let's keep it simple, that's enough. What you have now is like this recording. You can save it like in this folder here, for example, random textural background, where I have all the sounds. And at this point, it's really a drag and drop. Make a new audio track, taking our records and start with this. A nice thing to do is to duplicate the track, reverse it, going down with the pitch, let's say in texture mode, and you can group it and with an auto filter. Like the intro is really more interesting. I'm gonna add a layer that I made. Let's say this one is the same concept. I made two audio tracks, both of the sounds, but like one is stretch it and pitch it down, up, whatever you want. You have a lot of layer, let's say. Say with this, we can put this sweet spot here. So the sound that we created is this. Of course, you can like filter it like really low so it remains in the background, or you can use it like main source. So you integrate this, let's say this could be an SFX. You can use this stuff like in multiple different ways. It's a really nice way to work because you don't have to think too much about what you're making. Of course, you need something like a chain, but you will save your chain, you will master it. If you save your chains, the way you're working, the next sounds will have the same taste. In, let's say, 2 months, you will have tons of stuff like the stuff that I make. Impact. You can imagine outside what you can record. I recorded last time, I think this. Yeah, I did this with the same process. Sometimes I let Ableton record for like, let's say 2 hours. Everything will be surprising. As I say, the problem is that your ear are gonna stuck in the loop. And in this way, you maintain your brain fresh and also the brain of the listener. There is no spot here that is repeating 2 times because you have to worry about this stuff. 90% of techno tracks are really like loopy. In this way you can achieve like this kind of morphing sound that is upgrading obviously your sound productions, also because you will be like curious about what this process will record, you know. I'm gonna try the last thing with another one. Let's use this as kind of main source. So I'm gonna try with a drag and drop with a track that I started yesterday. Sounds like this. Since you decided which records is good and which not, you can simply drag and drop. And this causes into the listener a sort of curiosity, because the brain will remain curious about what is coming next. I can't clearly hear this sound, for example, but it makes a huge difference, you know. And yeah, I don't want to be too much annoying, so thanks for watching, guys. And this is pretty simple, everyone can do it. You will see that after a while, let's say a month, but if you are nerdy like me, like after 2 weeks you are okay, you will end up with a lot of Soundsource, huge recordings that you can use in multiple different way. And if you like the video, don't forget to press like and subscribe, and yeah, see you in the next video.